What do you see on the link, Michael?
I'm about to look at it. Should I press report?
No, I don't even think you got to press record.
Please stand by starting soon.
Yeah, it's got to do all this like. Okay, mine's going through an advertisement right now.
And it is getting ready to start. Creativity for Life, American Artist. It's going through there. Going through all these little.
Wait, put it on mute.
I'm what?
Thanks.
I'm just looking at something earlier. Lord Jesus.
Okay, so it says live, but I don't see any video.
Do you just skip me to skip ahead? I see your face in a little circle.
Yeah, me too. I don't see. Maybe because this is open.
Real man. Yeah, change.
Yeah, I don't see anything here.
Is it because the camera's not?
That was the whole point of doing this early. You turn the air down, put it up to like 67. Hit the down arrow twice. There you go. There you go. That's fine. That's fine. No, put it 66 is fine. So how come I don't see me?
If you may want to mute until you're ready to go live.
No, I saw that.
Huh.
I saw that. So I don't see anything. Test 1, 2. So no face there. It could be this whole splitter situation. Yeah, I know that's fine. Oh, people are saying they can hear me, which is fine. Hi guys, we're just working on technical difficulties. That's why we started early. Ah, there we go.
Figure it out.
Yeah. It should be popping up soon.
Not this letter.
Yeah. Then it just change. Let me see your screen. Hit refresh for me. See what happens. Test one. There. There it goes. Okay. We got it.
No, I got that.
It's coming.
So you don't need the splitter.
I wanted to have it because I wanted to be able to see what was going on, but I think the splitter
The splitter messed it up.
could have been,
You should try it.
Yeah, try it and see if it's better.
Is the stream up now?
because yeah, it's up now.
Yeah,
What is-
somebody said, there you go.
Yeah, you don't see yours yet?
I don't see mine yet.
Let me see.
Somebody said, where's the refresh button?
F5 at the top.
I see you right there.
Yeah, so I'm live.
So you live.
So this is in and this is out. This will get me back to the TV.
You're still live.
Oh,
So I still see. Raise
I
your
know
hand.
you do. I know you do. You see me? It's on a delay.
No, I'm just saying, raise your hand. So I see you raise your hand.
Let me see.
Okay.
I mean, I guess theoretically I don't need the TV, right? Because I have a preview here.
No, but you don't want to keep looking down there. You need the TV.
I need for myself.
You want to see it too?
But it's still working, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's working. It's fine. Let me see what you think.
I see you.
Okay.
Everybody chatting away. We can see
And they can actually hear you too, talking in the background.
what they said they couldn't hear. They said they couldn't hear at first. But now they can hear again.
All right. But I'm wondering though, once I use that mic, the cordless mic, will this mic cut out? Let's test it. You have it on?
Can you just tap that mic for me?
Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. I know you see me there, but what I'm concerned with is whether or not I need to mute this.
You should.
Thanks. I just don't know how. I know. That's why we're working on everything. Oh, default microphone. Black Magic Audio. Test one. Test one. Test two. You got me back on here?
Do I have you on here?
Yeah, keep the mic up. I need to see if the audio settings work properly.
Check the memory card is full.
Let me see.
I still have you on loud. Uh-oh. What's on? Check the panel. It's the light still.
I know. It's gonna be delayed. Test one. Cool. You're good. Test.
Do I need to report?
I don't think we do. I think we're good to go. And I'm on here. So Let's cut the sound back on. The Scribe is horrible. I have the recipe on Scribe, and it makes I'm on the website, and it makes you download the link, download the app to see the rest of the.
9 minutes.
I knew. I'll be ready.
You want me to put my headphones in here so I can hear still or no?
Yeah, that would be great, so you can see what's going
Get
on.
my headphones like that.
Go ahead.
I don't want to walk.
I mean, the people will see you, but I think there's some headphones right there on my desk, on that table right there. You got them headphones?
Yeah.
Or you want my Beats by Dre? Oh yeah, they put you put it in one ear. You sure? I know you do. We should be good on sound. I said we should be good on sound. Why you got the camera right there?
Oh, I was gonna start. I was gonna start on your face and then zoom out.
Let me get some oil from my hair. What happened? Let me see if I can see the link.
Did you know what?
You see what? Oh yeah, it's actually not bad. Too bad of a delay. What we got? 7 minutes.
6 minutes.
6 minutes. Hi people. Hi everybody. We got 6 minutes before we start. So I'm just putting 5 minutes. So I'm just putting the final touches on everything, so we can get started. And actually, I'm gonna turn the sound off until we get started. You know how they say when your mics.
bubble. 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's up, everybody? I'm so glad you guys are here joining me for my first live online cooking class. We're going to have a fantastic time today, so I hope you guys are ready. I tried to make sure I posted all the recipes, the shopping list. So if you follow me on Facebook, right, and you went ahead and saw the invite on Facebook, everything is there for the shopping list. So you can go to the link on Scribe and get all that. But don't worry, right? If you miss anything, I'm going to make sure I put it on DariusCooks.com. So I'll take a couple of photos of the food, make sure the recipes are posted so you are all good. Plus, this broadcast will be up on my YouTube page forever. All right, so let's get started. All right, I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. We're going to kick things off, right, with my raspberry lemonade sangria. I am so excited about this concept, so excited about this recipe because it's the summertime. You know, fresh fruits and fresh vegetables are all the rage right now, and I think sangria is like one of those really great things that's really perfect for the summertime. It's good for brunch, you know, long day at the office. It's good for that too. All right, so I got a couple of lemons here, and you saw the recipe. So the recipe is online. I may deviate a little bit from that, but don't worry. All right, I'll make sure everything's posted. All right, first things first is I've got some fresh raspberries. Those are very important. All right, so I've got a pint of these that I went ahead and washed off already, and I'm going to get them inside a food processor, a blender, something to get the juice out of. Right. If you don't have one of these, you can certainly, by all means, you could use, you know, put them in a bag. Put them in a food storage bag, roll the bag out and get the juice out. But I'm going to drop these in here because I really want to pulverize the heck out of them and get the juice going. All right, so I'm going to put 2 of these in, just like that. All right, and I need some stuff to get going in here to get this started. So I'm going to use wine. So I'm going to put a little wine in just now to help out with the juice action. All right. I don't know about you, but where I get my raspberries from, they're not sweet enough for lemonade. So I got some sugar that I'm going to just drop in just like this. We're going to get things going already, right? So I'm going to make almost sort of a raspberry syrup, if you will, that's going to go for our sangria. All right, here we go. Pulverize this, and let's see how far we get. If we need to add more liquid, we can. All right, here we go. And you can already see we need more liquid, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and add in a little bit more wine to get this going. All right, so that looks good. All right, this is the beginning. This is that raspberry syrup. But I got to tell you one thing, all right? Raspberry lemonade sangria is not raspberry lemonade sangria. Lemonade. So I've got some lemons here in my handy dandy juicer, and I want to get the lemons out. I want to get the juice out, just like this. Now listen, if you're watching this live, we have our social media correspondent who's live right now, right? So any questions you have in the comment section, you're more than welcome to put those there, and he'll take care of you, and we'll get questions answered live. All right, so listen, I've got lemons today, right? But I also have I buy limes, so this really works well with any sort of strong citrus, lemons and limes. If you want to deviate from this and you really want to get something really good, you can certainly use other citrus like tangerines and grapefruit, because it's all going to work for a really citrusy, summery situation. All right, so here's a fresh squeezed lemon juice without the seeds that's going to go in. All right, and I'm going to pulverize this a little bit more. All right, just like that. Now I can go ahead and pour this right in. But raspberries, you know, they have those seeds in there, right? And I'm not really a huge fan of that. So I'm going to just strain this out as I drop this in. That way I get out most of those seeds, because I don't want to be chewing this sangria. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. Really simple to do.
just a couple of ingredients, and look at that color, all right? Does that color not remind you that we are in the summertime? And I gotta tell you too, one of the things I love about this is that when I cut those lemons, I can sort of almost immediately smell that citrusy, lemony flavor. And it really reminds me of the time when, you know, back in the day, you know, I'm from Chicago. I tell this story all the time. I'm from Chicago. And so back in the day, what we would do is we make sun tea on the back porch. And it was always my responsibility to cut the lemons and get the juice out for the sun tea. Now, if you don't know what sun tea is, you are missing out on a delicacy. Sun tea is you take a old like bottle, like a juice jug, and you fill it with warm water, and then you put your tea bags in, right? Put it up tight, and then you put a little sugar in it, and you put it on the back porch so the sun, right, could help brew the tea. And then what happens is it sort of sits there for a couple of hours, and it brews, and it becomes this amazing sort of tea that's really, really good. And so then what I do after that is we would put lemon juice in and then put it in the fridge. And I got to tell you, that was some good stuff. Oh, you asking me a question? What type of wine? Oh, got a question. What kind of wine am I using? I was going to get to that. I'm using Chardonnay today, my white wine. Let me add some water to this and some ice. Give me a sec. I'm using Chardonnay for my wine, just because I happen to like Chardonnay. It's a really good quality white wine, and it doesn't have to be super expensive wine either, right? So any sort of white wine that's your favorite can absolutely work. All right, I'm just adding some ice to our sangria. So essentially what I did was I made a lemonade, right? I added in some raspberry syrup, added in some ice, and I'm gonna finish off with some fruit because you can't really have, you know, sangria without fruit. So they didn't have frozen raspberries in my grocery store, so I'm gonna be using frozen blackberries, but hey, it all works, all right? Just like that. All right, couple of frozen. Give that a stir. All right. And you know me, if you watch any of my videos, I gotta go in for taste and see how everything tastes. So let me grab a cup, and I'm going to give this a taste. Now remember, let your imagination run wild with this sangria, all right? You can totally do any sort of combo that you like. It's completely up to you. I'm using raspberry lemonade, but by all means, you can totally go in for, you know, your mangoes, you know, oranges, anything that sort of reminds you of what summer is. All right, let's go for, look at that. Oh, yeah. Here we go. See what we got? Perfect. Summery, refreshing. This says, let's get the party started. This says, let's get ready for brunch. All right? So, put this away, and we'll get started on the next situation, which I'm sort of excited about. I'm going to take corn and use corn in really sort of an unusual way. Oh, by the way, I'm leaving this out because I'm going to be sipping this throughout the entire class. All right, so I got a question that says, how much sugar do you use? Really, it's completely up to you. In the recipe, I normally use about 2 cups of sugar, but listen, sometimes you get those, you know, oranges, and you get those pieces of fruit that are a little bit more sweeter, so to taste, all right? And you know how you like your situation. All right, so look at what I got on the stove. I got a lot of things working on the stove. In particular, I'm finishing up crisping some bacon, all right? So all I did was I went ahead and chopped down some bacon, and I rendered it out in a cold pan. What I mean by that is I didn't really apply any heat to my pan before I went ahead and took care of the bacon. What happens when you do it that way is it really sort of allows for your bacon to crisp up really, really well, and you're going to get nice crispy bacon, all right? So I'm going to drain out the bacon, but look what's left behind in this pan is this amazing bacon fat, all right? And I guess my grandmama and them, my aunties, they were on to something because there's amazing flavor left over in this bacon oil, right? This fat that comes from the bacon. And I can remember my grandmother. Now, my grandmother was a coffee drinker, and I get lots of inspiration from growing up with my grandmother. My grandmother was a coffee drinker, right? And so what my grandmother would always do is she used to drink Folgers coffee in the red can, but she would never throw the cans away. She'd keep the can, because what she would always do was put the bacon grease right into the Folgers can and use that for basically anything, biscuits, to saute some stuff up. It was fantastic, all right? So in here, really simply, in this bacon oil, this is where all that fantastic flavor is that you don't want to get rid of. I've got onion and garlic, right? So I'm going to drop in some salt, because I want it to sweat out, all right? And think about what happens when you perspire, right? You get sweaty, you get salty, you get sort of, you know, watery, all the water comes out, and that's exactly what I want. I want this to perfume really, really well, so I'm going to give it a stir. All right, look at that. I got those little bits in the bottom from the bacon that you want. Okay. Meanwhile, I got a pan here getting hot because I want to talk about this chicken fried shrimp, baby. Okay. Let's get to working on that. At least seasoning it. All right, because that's super, super, super important. I've got my shrimp. Now I am using 1618. So what happens is when you go to the grocery store, right, and you go and you buy your shrimp, what happens is they have this number, right, this fraction on the side of it. So it could say 2125, it could say 1418. Those are the number of shrimp that are in a pound, all right? And I'm using 1618, so I've got 16 to 18 shrimp in a pound. The big boys, the jumbos. So good. You gotta try this. Oh, big boy, 16 to 18 in a pound. Starting off with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and again, these recipes are posted online, and I'll make sure they're at DariusCooks.com. All right, check me out. I've got a little bit of sazon. If you watch me for any number of period of time, you know I love my sazon. So a little sazon is going to go in there. All right. Now let's spice it up a little bit. I got a little bit of cayenne, not a lot, just a little that's going to go in. I've got some Hungarian paprika. I love this stuff because it is sort of smoked paprika that adds a really nice heat level and a fantastic color, if you will, right, to our shrimp. All right, a couple of more ingredients. Oh, let me make sure I stir this. Now, I don't want this to burn, all right, because we got that garlic in, and that garlic will turn bitter on us. So I just want to really get in here and make sure I'm getting the bottom real good. Oh, God, this is going to be some good stuff. And just to let you know where I'm going with this, is going to be an amazing place. I've got some corn, I've got some heavy cream, I've got some cornstarch, the bacon is going to go back in, some chicken stock. It's going to be good, man. All right, back to the shrimp. A little bit of chili powder goes in. All right, and I'm going to finish off with garlic powder because I don't know where you get your shrimp from, but where I got mine from, they did not come seasoned. So a little garlic powder goes in there. And I'm also going to throw in a little bit of onion powder too. All right, so I'm going to get in here with my hands. They're nice and clean, and they're cook's best friend. And I really want to get this incorporated really well. Look at those shrimp, okay? We're going to Flavor Town. I hope you guys are ready. Now, to chicken fry the shrimp, I'm going to put a little bit of buttermilk in here, okay? Now, I love what buttermilk does to stuff like this, all right? Buttermilk is going to give it a really great flavor. It's going to allow everything to stick to it really well. This is going to be some good eating up in here. Look at that. All right. Now, just two more things that I want to add in, and then we'll call this done, and we'll get ready to fry it up for our chicken fried shrimp. All right. I got to get some flour into the situation here. So I've got all that love going on. I'm going to put in some flour. Maybe a little more, because I'm going for a textural consistency here. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. That looks about good to me. And then whenever I fry, listen at me real carefully. Whenever I fry, I always use cornstarch, right? Because it's going to give us a super fantastic crunch that we want to have, right? That's what frying is all about. It's a nice crunch anyway, right? So I do 1 to 2, all right? So 1 part flour, or 2 parts flour, and then 1 part of the cornstarch. All right, look at this. This looks really good right now. I mean, look at our onion and our garlic. They're caramelized. Look at that. That is doing fantastic things, and this is going to have some amazing flavor on it, all right? So I took some corn earlier. This is about 3 to 4 cups of corn, the fresh stuff. You can tell it's fresh, right? Look at the corn milk and the silk that came off the husk, all right? So I'm going to get this out. I just want to give it a stir, right? Because this is going to be corn and bacon gravy, and I'll show you how we get to that corn and bacon gravy part, all right? So if you look at this, I'm stirring. It needs a little help, right? Because the oil that we had, we need a little bit more. So I got some olive oil I'm going to throw in here just to lube it up really good. Oh, boy. Look at that. That's going to be good. All right. Let that cook up. Let's get our heat cut up on that one. All right. And then let's talk about back to these shrimp. All right. So I've got the cornstarch and the flour. Now, I always do 1 part cornstarch to 2 parts flour because I love what the cornstarch does to the crispiness of this, all right? So with my hands, I'm getting in here, and I'm tossing it around, right? And look at what that buttermilk has done. It's really allowed the flour and all the love you put on with all those seasonings to really get in there and do some good adherence, some stickage. Look at your neighbor and say stickage. Now, that's going to be good, okay? Because it's going to stick edge to my ribs, okay? Now, let's see if our flour is ready. You know, Grandma used to always take her hand and do a little bit of that, right? Look at that. When that happens, you know we're good to go. Another test, right, that you can do to see if your oil is ready is take a wooden spoon, okay? Put the back of your wooden spoon and look at that. As soon as you put it in, it starts to do that. It starts to bubble. Okay, we are in good territory, all right? So if you need to get exact temperatures, right, let's call it about the 350-degree range, 350, 360 to fry in, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and drop in. Oh, yes, Lord. Okay, these shrimp. Now they're going to cook quick. So you got to move, okay? You got to move expeditiously on this here. Just like this, okay? And as soon as you put it in, I mean, as soon as the shrimp goes in, it smells amazing. Like the scent wafts the house. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now, we got a question that says, could you use regular milk with this? Absolutely. You know, growing up, we substituted all the time. You know, as we were growing up, we didn't have the best of everything. So sometimes we even use water, right? Because really all you want is you need something to make the stuff stick to it, right? For stickage. So yeah, absolutely, you could use milk, you could use water, you could use whatever you like, all right? So I'm gonna get these just turned around ever so slightly. Oh boy, and I told you, they don't take long. I use a shrimp. You don't want to overcook these, okay? This is not chicken, it's just chicken fried, because it's gonna look like chicken by the time we're done, all right? Look at our corn. All right, that looks good to me. Look at this. All right. So what I'm going to do now for our corn and bacon gravy, because I got to turn this into some gravy, right? And I'm going to do that with a blender, but I'm going to show you in a second. All right. Let's get our shrimp out, and let's put them right here so they can cool, because this is done. Okay. Another question that says, could you use vegetable oil? Look at me when I tell you this, okay? You can use whatever oil is on sale. Down to the ShopRite, okay? Down to the ShopRite yesterday, they had Crisco vegetable oil, and now the Crisco endorsed me. I mean, I'm not endorsing them because they ain't paying me, but they had Crisco vegetable oil, $1.79. How about 5 of them, okay? You just want to use vegetable oil, canola, corn. Careful, real cooking. I wouldn't fry in anything like a olive oil or grapeseed oil. That's true. It's not going to smoke the way you want it to, and it's going to burn before everything gets done. All right, look at those. Hello, somebody. Okay, now take a picture of that and put that on Instagram. Darius Cooks. All right. Now I'm chicken frying the shrimp, but listen, you can chicken fry anything. All right, you can chicken fry steak. Okay, you can certainly chicken fry fish the same way. It's just a matter of the process, right? And you can do it however you want to do it, whatever your heart wants to, all right? All right, so while that's doing this thing, let's talk about finishing this up. All right, so this looks good. It's cooked up. My corn is ready to go. I've got some chicken stock that I made. So if you follow me on DariusCooks.com or on Instagram, last weekend I made some chicken and dressing. Well, I happen to have some of the chicken stock left over from that, so I'm going to put it in here and help turn this into a gravy. All right? Oh, yeah. Look at that. All right. Now, I'm using the one chicken stock that I made, but if you got a really good canned chicken stock, you could use that too. No big deal. All right. We ain't tripping around here. Chicken stock is chicken stock. Okay? Here we go. Now, this is hot. So let's put this. Oh yeah, look at this. I mean, it doesn't look good. You can eat this just by itself. I mean, come on. You can go for it. Let me get a spoon. I don't have stuff everywhere. And I'm gonna drop this into our blender because I'm gonna turn this into a sauce now, right? Into a gravy. Now I'm using fresh corn. By all means, it's perfect for fresh corn. But listen. Sometimes some of you guys live in places where you may not have fresh corn, and that's cool too. You could totally use your frozen corn in this situation. The one thing I wouldn't do, okay, is I would not use the cream corn, and I certainly wouldn't use the corn that's in the can, right? Just because it's got too much going on with the water and the liquid. Now be careful. This is hot. Heat expands. So we're going to pulse this just until we get it nice and creamy. I said pulse. Here we go. Okay. Now, as you can see, we got a little stickage going on, okay, which is absolutely okay and normal. This is where our heavy cream comes in, all right? So our heavy cream comes in. All right, let's get in there and get this stirred up. Hello. That's going to be good, huh? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Come on, somebody. Huh? I want it a little bit more. Okay, and that's perfect. I'm going to return it to the pan because I just want to finish up with a little fresh herb action. Look at that. Hello. Yes, Lord. DariusCooks.com, baby. All right, so in my garden on the back here, I am growing some herbs. So I've got some fresh oregano, right, that I'm going to just throw in. Now, you can certainly use the dried oregano if you like, but I think the fresh stuff just has so much more flavor, right, than the dried stuff. So I'm going to strip off the leaves. And just use a little bit. You don't want to go overboard with the oregano because then you're not going to have gravy. You're going to have soap, huh? And soap go on your body, not in your mouth. All right, so just give this a little rough chop. And this is going to add a really great flavor right there. All right, here we go. Look at that. Oregano goes in. Give that a good stir. And let's taste it. Okay, let's see what we got. Look at this. See if we need to adjust our seasonings. This is the time you want to do that, okay? What you don't want to do is be like, oh, this look good. Serve it, and it'd be a fool, okay? So test it to make sure our seasonings are on point with that chicken stock. Here we go. Let me tell you something. That's gonna make you want to slap somebody's mama, okay? Now, remember the bacon. Let it not be in vain. Our bacon goes back in, okay? Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Okay, now let's stir and let's plate. So I've got a bowl right here. Okay, a little bit of that bacon gravy. Bacon, a little bit of corn and bacon gravy. This is so good. You put this on shoe leather, it's so daggone good. Okay, just like that. Depends on how much gravy you like. Okay, I happen to like a lot of gravy, so that's just me. Okay, now remember these chicken fried shrimp that we so ever carefully put together. We're just gonna throw these right on top. Okay, just like that. As many as you want. Now this is for you, okay, or the bae or whatever. You know, my bae eat whatever I feed them, so you know, here we go. A little bit of chive action right on top. And I'm a black pepper fiend, so I'm going to put a little black pepper on top. Just like this. Look. See that? Just like that. And I got a little fresh cracked black pepper. Then we finish off just like that. Okay, peeps. Here we go. Time to taste the whole dish put together as one. You saw me do it. All right, here we go. I'm going to grab some of this. I wish you guys were here. I only do this for you. Okay, here we go. It's hot though. See, you're smoking. I just cooked it. Let me tell you something. Okay? Let me tell you something. Oh my gosh. This is so fantastic. The creaminess of the corn with that backdrop of that hint of bacon is amazing. Believe it or not, that little bit of oregano makes all the difference in the world. This is so good. The chicken fried shrimp. Hello. Winner. Fried shrimp dinner on that one, okay? All right. Don't forget a little bit more of our sangria, because we're having a party. That's amazing. You guys gotta try this stuff, man. Really, you gotta try it. Okay. That's good. All right. More cooking to do. Here we go. I got a pot on the stove, boiling with some water. Okay? That's important. Let's cut this down. Let's move this around. Now, this is for our pasta. And here's the key about pasta. It could be tricky if you let it get the best of you, okay? It won't get the best of us today because we won't let it. Here we go. In here, I'm going to add in some salt. Now, what you want to do is add in a little bit of salt and then add in some more and some more again. Trust me when I tell you, this is the only time you really get a chance to really go ahead and season your pasta. So you want that to happen, okay? And I'm going to be cooking with some angel hair, which is going to be good, all right? Now, back over here at my workstation, I got to get some garlic minced up because we're going to start with that spinach and garlic pasta dish. That's going to be really, really good, okay? Let's get my chicken fried shrimp out the way. I'm going to be a little fat and eat another one for y'all. I gotta see how it tastes, huh? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right. I got some garlic. A couple of cloves. Depends on how garlicky you like your pasta. What's wrong? You laughing? You okay? Why? Oh, it's all right. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take my garlic clove, put it right here, back of the knife, smash. Okay? Back of the knife, smash. This is really good for aggression. This is good for when the baby get on your nerve. You come in here and you make some pasta. All right, here we go. Another one and another one. All right, so believe it or not, this next dish could actually be considered vegan. I know, vegan, okay? No animal products whatsoever. But there's a possibility it could be considered vegan. We're going to add a little cheese in because I have never met a pasta that didn't like a little bit of cheese added in. So by the time we're done, we're going to put a little feta. But please, by all means, I have lots of people that follow me that always ask for healthier type recipes, right? Which these aren't terribly bad, but people always ask for healthier types. So here's one for you, all right? So we're going to chop this up. There's no right or wrong way to doing this. You just chop it up just like this. A little garlic action. Okay, this is definitely a place where you want to use fresh garlic. All right, and I've got a pot on my stove. I'm gonna get some heat on. I should move this, okay, so we don't burn anything. All right, I've got olive oil. I'm gonna put in here. Okay, olive oil goes in. About a half a cup or so, because this is going to coat all of our pasta. Okay. Remember the garlic we chopped up? Now it's time for the garlic to go right in here. Now I'm cooking this on low. All right. I want my garlic to really sort of release the sweetness that's inside the garlic. I don't want to rush this. Okay. This is a labor of love. So give yourself a little bit of time with this one. All right. Just like that. Before I do anything to that. Now, meanwhile, let's talk about some dessert, baby. Okay, I'm making one of my favorite cakes in the entire universe. That's so easy to do. You rarely need stuff for it. Okay. All right. Oh, water's boiling. Let's get our pasta on. Let's get our pasta in there. All right. Now I got a pound of angel hair. I'm going to use probably about 3/4 of that, right? And I don't want to overcook this, so just when I think it's done, I'll take it out. But y'all got to remind me because I got a lot going on, and I don't want to forget. Okay? All right. Make sure this is turned down low enough so that things burn. So look at the garlic. Look at what it's doing. You see that? It's starting to perfume really, really well. That's going to be good stuff. All right. Let's get cracking with this dessert. Okay? I got a cake situation I'm going to make and a couple of different glazes for the cake. But let's do this. All right, I got frozen berries, whatever kind you like. This is from my triple berry shortcakes. All right, frozen strawberries, blue. Oh, yes, Lord, look at that. All right. You know where we're going with this. We're headed to a good place. I got another question. Oh, remember, guys, too, if you have questions, you can certainly ask those in the chat. We have our social media correspondent who's communicating. All right. So those are berries. I got raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, and blueberries. A little bit of sugar goes in there with this syrup to really sweeten it up because these aren't sweet at all. Okay. We're doing what's called macerate. We're going to macerate the berries. Okay. Also, I don't see nothing wrong with a little Bacardi limon. Okay. Little Bacardi limon, just like that. See, just like that, right in there. All right. Let's give this a stir and let this hang out. Because what happens is you want the juices to continue to release. You want the sweetness to go in. Oh boy, this is some dangerous stuff. I'm gonna actually taste it, huh? I mean, why not just taste it to make sure the flavors are good? Let's see. let me just for you guys. That's good. A little bit more calorie limon, but that's delicious. All right, let's make sure we check everything. Our garlic is doing great things. Our pasta. All right, let's get to this cake now. All right, one of my easiest cakes ever. This is my vanilla buttermilk cake. Let's put that on the side, and we'll take care of this. All right, so to start the cake, I need a cup of oil, right? A cup of oil that I need. I'm going to use vegetable oil. And this is where you want to use vegetable canola. Don't fool around with no olive oil in here and serve this to nobody, okay? People are going to be upset with you, all right? Now, I done told you, do that. All right, so I'm going to put a cup and 3/4 of buttermilk in, all right? Because you can't have vanilla buttermilk cake without the buttermilk, all right? And then to this, I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar, okay? So that's easy. People that say, oh, I can't bake. Yes, you can. Look at this. No fancy equipment needed. Bam! 2 cups, okay? Now that's going to mess them up right there, okay? Now you stir this together, just like this. And another question. Somebody said, what kind of knives do I use? The kind of knife that I use is the kind that's on sale, okay? I have really one good, like, chef's knife, but that's it. Don't go out buying a bunch of stuff. Look, I did all this with no fancy equipment. You can do this, okay? Meanwhile, before I get into more, our pasta is done, okay? We don't want to overcook the pasta because that ain't good either, okay? So let me drain the pasta and let it hang out just for a second. And let it drain back on the stove, okay? All right, let's get back to this cake action. So 3 ingredients: buttermilk, sugar, oil. I'm going to crack in 2 eggs. This takes me back to my cupcake gallery days. So people who don't know, I used to actually own a cupcake shop north side of Chicago. And when I tell you, we used to turn out those cupcakes. I used to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning making these cupcakes, and just like this, all right? So a couple of eggs go in, and then I'm going to put in a little splash of vanilla, all right? I think the recipe is like a tablespoon or something. Give that a stir. And then let's finish up the cake. Real simple. Right? You got a little salt that I'm going to add in, right? Because whenever you're doing your sweet stuff, you want to put a little salt in. Ain't nothing wrong with a little salt, okay, in the action. All right? I got a little baking soda I got to throw in too. About a teaspoon of that or so. All right, and then I'm going to finish up with 2.5 cups of flour. Okay. Now, this is our cake. How simple is this? Now, what's great about this cake is you could do this a number of different ways. You could totally do this with a regular size cake. You know, like you're serving a lot of people. You want to do a big cake, go ahead. I'm actually doing minis today, right? So I'm going to put them in little small ramekins and serve them that way. You can certainly do this as cupcakes, whatever you want. All right, so that's 2. What is that? 1/2. I don't have too much sangria already, Lord. Okay, here we go. A little bit of sangria. I mean, I'm really cooking, so I need to quench my thirst. Here we go. All right, let's start this together. Here you go. Just like that. No fancy equipment. No fancy equipment needed. And you want to stir until you get most of your lumps out. Now, I'm using vanilla today But if you wanted to use any sort of other extract, rum would be good with this. A little rum extract. I mean, we do have Bacardi Limon. That would be fantastic in there, right? You could do chocolate. You could do raspberry, whatever you like, all right? Now, I'm not over mixing because then all the cake pastry gods will get at me, okay? So let's see what we got. You always want to get down to the bottom of this thing because what happens is that we have stuff that really sticks down below. And that's not what we want, okay? So this looks good. Now, my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. That's exactly what you want to have happen at this point, all right? And I'm going to put this into something that's greased and floured because, listen, again, we do not like stickage, okay? I'm going to set this over here because I already have one that's done for the sake of time. Speaking of, it's time for a little more sangria. I'm telling you, you got to try that sangria. Let's finish up our pasta dish. Now look. Oh, that's hot. Remember the oil? Look at what happens to the garlic, right? Basically, we fry the garlic, you know? So I'm going to remove that garlic because that you don't want. You just want the oil that the garlic makes. And I do this with the garlic. You could do this with fresh herbs. This is some good stuff, all right? You can take this oil now and put it on bread, whatever you want, okay? Get most of it out. A little bit is fine. Now let's season this because I don't know where you got your pasta from, but where I got mine from, it did not come seasoned. So I'm going to season it now, all right? Got a little bit of fresh ground pepper. It's going to go in just like that. I also need some salt, okay? Because salt's going to help bring out so much of the flavor that's in this pasta dish. This is a very simple pasta dish. And I think the recipe even calls for like a pinch of red pepper flakes. So let me do that. Let's grab some red pepper flakes. I've got those. Right? A little bit of that goes in. And basically all we did was just make a seasoned oil. That's pretty much it, right? Now, I'm not really putting much into this seasoned oil. This is it, right? This oil and the pasta, and that's all I've got. But if you wanted to go ahead and do this with some shrimp, right? Some fish, some chicken, you could put that in right now, toss the pasta together, and listen, it'll be a home run, all right? So I'm going to throw in some of the pasta. Now, look, I got some stickage because it was sitting. So let me just give it a quick rinse to loosen it up a little bit. Right? That's a trick. When your pasta is sitting like that, just give it a quick rinse. Right? Not too much because you want some of the starch, but give it a quick rinse. All right? Here we go. I can throw in some pasta now into the pan and get pasta all over the stove. You hear that? Huh? We're cooking, baby. Here we go. A little bit more. Look, that's it. Toss this around in the oil, okay? And let's let the heat of this, let's put on a little more heat. Let the heat of this wilt down our spinach. All right, just like that, our washed spinach. And I'm gonna stir this ever so carefully and try to and try not to get it all over the daggone floor. Now, again, I left this completely, at this point, it's vegan and a mess everywhere, huh? But at this point, it's vegan. I'm going to add in a little bit of cheese. It'll still be vegetarian, but this is great, man. And if you don't like, you know, sort of your regular pastas, because of whatever reason, you know, you could totally go for the whole grain pasta. They got some really great, some of those out that add extra everything to your pasta, you know, protein and all that good stuff. Look at that. That's it. Done. Just like that. Now, I'm going to make it even better by adding in some feta cheese and put this in our dish. Look at this. Hello. Talk about amazing. All right, let's plate this up. Okay, all right. So all I'm gonna say is We got a little piece of spinach that wants to be a little stubborn, but that's it. All right. Now listen. Again, I'm gonna throw a little feta cheese, just for that little salty bite, right at the end. Break them up, just like that. Now you can put as much or as little as you like. You know your tolerance. This is great hot. It's great at room temperature. And it's about to be great tasting it. All right, I want to get a little spinach. I want to get a little cheese. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now you saw me make this. Super easy, right? Perfect for like brunch, lunch. I'm excited. I'm telling you, it's so good. A little bit of heat, red peppers, lovely garlic flavor all throughout. You gotta give it a try. That feta cheese on the end comes in with that salty bite. So good. All right, last dish, and then we're gonna be done. Oh, our time is coming to an end, unfortunately. All right. Now, remember those cakes that I went ahead and made earlier? They're right here. So I put them into ramekins so that they'd be easier to deal with. And they're little kitties. Look at that. That is so amazing. And you can take that for your, you know, your boo, your significant other. You're having a little brunch party. Okay, I think I'm gonna put a little bit more of this in here. Okay, and I think I'm gonna drink a little bit more of that. This is amazing. It's so good. Okay, let's glaze. Because I did say Bacardi Limon glaze. Okay, so to do that, you can't have Bacardi Limon glaze without some Bacardi Limon, right? So a little bit of Bacardi Limon, right? Like a shot, enough for like a shot, you know, shot. Okay, everybody, a little sugar, okay, for everybody. And then let's do limon, let's do lime, right? I got really nice, plump, juicy limes, just some citrus, you know, just to go help the situation out some, all right? Lime juice. Just like that. I might as well do the whole thing. Well, you know what? We fork it. If you fork your citrus, you'll be able to get it. You get more juice out when you fork it like that, huh? Okay, so this is good. All right, I'm gonna put this in the microwave so the sugar can go ahead and dissolve. I guess a minute or so is good. And then let's see. I need a knife, a serrated knife. Okay, I can't find it. A serrated knife would work well because it lets you cut through this real easily. Now, because we floured and greased this, I'm able to get in here and really get these out, right? Look at this. Okay, look at that. That's a cake. Okay, I'm gonna do another one. Same deal, right? You get in here, right? And you get this out just like that. Now that's good. Now we did really good with that. Now let's talk about the presentation, because you've heard of strawberry shortcakes. I'm going to do a triple berry shortcake. So all I really want to do is come in here and cut this in half right, across, just like this. I stick my knife in, I rotate, I help move it along because I really want to just loosen off the top, right? Just like that. So I got a place for some fruit to hang out. So that's one. Let's do the other one. See, we got 11 minutes. We're good on time. All right, here we go. So I'm going to put this in just like that. All right. Now, you heard the ding of the microwave go off. Go off. The microwave went off. Okay, look at this. Bacardi lemon glaze. Okay. Now, if you get a fancy pastry brush, use that. I ain't got one, so here we go. We're going to use this. And you just want to put a little bit of the glaze on the bottom half and the top half just to soak up. Just like that. Okay. Now, if you don't want to use Bacardi lemon, you can certainly just use the, you know, the lime or lemon juice and the sugar by itself. But why you wouldn't want to use Bacardi lemon is beyond me. Okay. All right, that looks good. Now I got to make some cream, right? Some whipped cream. So I got to get a bowl. That's important. And I got to get my mixer. Okay, let's get my mixer involved because I'm going to do fresh whipped cream for you guys to add on top because that's what you put on your shortcakes. All right, so I got a bowl. I got some cream. Look at your neighbor and say cream. A little bit of that. I'm going to toss in there a little bit of vanilla and then some sugar. Just a splash. And then we're doing fresh whipped cream to go on top, right? If you want to omit the vanilla, you can. Just a little sugar, just a little sweetener, not a lot. Although I don't know why you would omit the vanilla. All right, and this will take a couple of seconds, but I want to show you how we can get whipped cream just like that, all right? Watch this. All right, just like that. Look at your neighbor and say, bam! We got some whipped cream, all right? So, let's assemble these bad boys, all right? Remember those macerated berries that we have with the Bacardi lemon that hung out for us? Well, they're right there. I'm going to drop some of those right in here. Now, there is no right or wrong way to do this, but you want that juice and that syrup to soak down in there and to be some good eating. Okay? Just like that. Now he has a little hat on him. Uh-oh. Careful, careful, careful. Okay, there's a little hat on him. Put that back right on top. Just like that. Okay, let me do the other one. Okay. Juice on the bottom. All right, it's got the Bacardi lemon, a little bit of the sugar, and it's just sat in its own juices. And I'm using this for cakes, but by all means, omit the Bacardi lemon and add this to yogurt, all right, to pies, all types of stuff, man. Okay, I'm gonna just put a little bit right here, and let's get some of this cream, and let's dollar it right there on top. Okay, just like that, right there on top. A little bit of that fresh cream. Hello, somebody. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Oh boy, I gotta tell you, I have worked today, okay, and this is gonna be well worth it. The reward of you guys doing this. I want you guys to try these recipes out. You're gonna absolutely love them. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't go in for a taste. So let me see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Hell, at this point, it don't even matter no more. Okay, here we go. Let's get a taste of this. And that vanilla buttermilk cake. Come on, with that Bacardi lemon glaze, baby. That is so good. Oh my gosh. I'm through. I mean, let me tell you something. This was amazing. Okay? I got my shrimp, chicken fried shrimp with the corn and bacon gravy. We got the summer pasta with the feta cheese, the garlic oil. I'm using angel hair. Use whatever you like. And the spinach. I got my raspberry lemonade sangria. I've been sipping on, I done worked up a sweat. I've been sipping on all day. All day, I've been sipping. And last but not least, let me go in for just one more little bite of this cake. Listen, we are celebrating summer around here, okay? El verano, mi amigo, con pastele y fruta. Okay, I gotta go. Listen, all these recipes, I'm gonna put them up. DariusCooks.com. It's www.dariuscooks.com. Two things I always say: food is my life. Life is my food. Until next time, I gotta wish y'all happy cooking. Thank you for tuning in, y'all. Thank you. I want to wish you happy cooking from my heart to yours. All right, we gotta go. See you later. DariusCooks.com, Instagram Darius Cooks, Twitter Darius Cooks, Facebook Darius. Too much sangria. Facebook Darius Cooks, the whole bit. Thank you. I'll see you guys later.